Hey, how's it going, guys? Albert, also known as Trader AD. So, it's been a while since I made a video regarding my trading, and I don't know why. I've just been procrastinating, and it got to a point where I'm just overwhelmed. I just don't know what to do. But I know that a lot of you like to vicariously watch me trade and learn through these trades. So I think this is a really good video because some of you guys know from the community tab that I've been having a pretty bad week or a pretty bad month. Starting off with the onset of weeks worth of migraines, but it got taken care of when I went to the doctor and got my Botox trigger point injections, which are FDA approved if you have migraines more than half of your life. Basically, 15 days out of the month. That's what's required for you to be approved. So I've been approved since the past 5 years, and it's been a life changer. So I get these injections 4 times a year, and it just so happened that the beginning of this month was the very last week of my next cycle of injections. So just to throw that out there because I had a few people ask me about migraines and all. So with that aside, you're gonna see some videos of a few days of me trading. Basically, I think a week's worth, but it was on and off, and I think I was gonna make a video about how not to trade, but I don't have any examples because I don't trade that way. So it's not like I'm going to be recording footage of charts that went poorly. But I do see in this video, after looking at it, that I made some poor choices in some areas. So I'll identify them, and hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. And hopefully I don't make that many mistakes. So a lot of times it's easier to learn to find the best charting, but I find that in this case, it is really important to identify what not to trade. So I will get to that video eventually, but let's just go through this video and maybe you can identify a few things that I shouldn't have done. That way, yeah, you can learn from them. Oh, before I get to the videos, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you actually like what you see. I'm always going to be an educator before I am a day trader. You guys know that I'm a dog trainer, so whatever I do, I'm always trying to figure out a way to make a difference. It's something every true educator wants in their life. Money is nice, but knowing that you're making a difference is something greater than anything to me. So don't forget to click that like and subscribe. It makes a difference in that YouTube algorithm, and yeah, I really appreciate it. All right, let's get to it. So APRN, I didn't have a chance to record it, but I made $200 probably off 1,000 shares, and you can tell that there was a ramp coming up in volume, and there was a spike right here. Now, obviously, with something like this, if I'm going to go heavy, I'm going to go with a 1 minute trigger. So basically, I took it right down here, and I probably got out as it got down here near 1180. But all in all, this was pretty choppy, right? So I got out as soon as I could, but it probably continued on down a little bit. But you already know I don't wait for it to just trickle down, because sometimes the market wants to push things and blow things around. So I look for a strong move that goes straight up. So that is the indication of entries. So a lot of times you'll see me in the stream say something like APRN ramping, but that's usually down here. And then the final movement up here is basically where you would identify if it's going to be a good setup or not. So I think I'm in the near future, you're not going to hear me say A plus or A minus setup, because if you go from A plus to C minus, that's nine steps in the scale plus a D. So that's a scale of 1 through 10. So forget that. It's either really good, good, or okay. And I'm probably not going to ever say something that's bad anyways, because it's not worth mentioning. So really good or unicorn, good, and okay. Or yeah, that's basically what you're gonna hear from me now on. Just 3. All right. So this one was probably really good because there were some areas that were red. You see it right here. It reset here a little bit, and then it ramped up, and then it worked my way down. So that was June 1st. So this is during my migraines. And here's one that you can identify really quick that is probably just okay, if not bad. because there is no ramp. So most likely, I was stalking this because of some kind of daily resistance. Because from here, I don't see anything going good for this, and I threw in 4,000 shares based on the range. All right, it's because the range per line is 5 cents. So basically, I'm risking about $200. But of course, there's slippage. So in this case, I got it down here. You see me. You see right here that how TradeNet does it, because the level 2 has it at 491 and 492 on the bid and ask, but my average cost is 489.5. So that's just how it is. But let's just see how this one goes. So most likely, this is obviously a trigger on ones. Basically, I'm going to enter it when I passes up the previous candle, and I set my stop at high day. That the level 2 is a lot bigger than the ask, and I'm just 1 cent away. So watch, it goes from 260, and then realized somehow $0.01 away, it gets to 383. And that's the TradeNet thing, guys. So really with TradeNet, you really have to have it green. If it's green, it'll stay green. But if it's red and you get stopped out, it stops you out even more. That's the slippage I'm talking about when it comes to TradeNet. Now, I don't think TradeNet's horrible, but these kind of things can really get on your nerves. So when you take a trade with TradeNet, you really have to have a lot of conviction. So for me, if I ever use TradeNet, and the thing was, whenever I had my clients, which are done, by the way, 3 of them succeeded and 2 of them failed. So I'm 60%. That's really good. But that's because I chose these clients. There are plenty of clients that would. I'm pretty sure if anybody just asked me to help them, my percentage rate of success for my clients would be probably a lot lower. But of those 60%, I only gave them the best setups. We didn't play around. So sometimes it was just 1 or 2 trades or no trades at all. So this was the TradeNet slippage. If you go red, it adds a little bit more pain on top of that. So right here, there's Hertz again. This is probably the 3rd time I traded Hertz because it just does these beautiful ramps. And now on TradeNet, it's not tradable. It just seems that way. Anything that's highly volatile ends up not tradable on TradeNet. It's discouraging. So you'll see me not streaming as often because I'm going to be on my light speed. But as long as I have my TradeNet account, I'm still going to be streaming for you guys. All right. So with this one, you can tell that I'm basically breaking even. CRWD went poorly, LK went well, and I tried LVS twice, long and short, and I was on the wrong side twice, but I traded small because it was probably just, I don't know what I was thinking. Again, this is a headache day on June 4th. So here's Hertz, and look at that move right here. Now this to me is a great setup. This is a really, really good setup. If you notice, there's on the 1 minute time frame, there's consistent green candles, and that ramp in volume is enormous. I mean, we're talking about millions. So a lot of times when it comes to this and is ramping with all that volume, a lot of times it's going to go well. So I think, yeah, I enter on the first red. I don't even wait for a 1 minute trigger. And there it goes. So for that day, I'm up about 500. And there, it went a little bit more just to add. So, that's just how it is in trading. You think you did well, and then you could have done better. But that's all hindsight. Don't ever go for home runs. If it goes, it goes. And you could tell by the volume right here that that's going to be the last red candle. It's going to rebound. And then it may go some more. But this red candle right here is a lot of resistance to go any further down. So on BORR, this is June 5th, and it's going really well. I don't know if I took this one, but this is a really good example of something that's catalyzed by the market. This is the one. These are the ones that I'm always looking at, guys. I'm pretty sure this one isn't tradable, but it's nice to watch. If you have interactive brokers or another broker that could have traded BORR, this one would be one would be watching. I love these setups. And look at the level 2, it's most likely going to halt. See how, yeah, kind of like froze up a little bit and then halted. So from there, I would anticipate for a re-entry 5 minutes later for a short. And there it is. So you could just short right there. And there it goes. Happens every single time, guys. So that's why I added the halt to my scanner. If you're able to trade these are beautiful moves. And of course, it's really volatile, so you're just in and out really fast. So make sure you have a broker that's fast. But of course, just wait a while, and then it'll consolidate and still go down. So right now it's 125 on the ask. And just wait a bit, and it will go down. There you go, 120. It's not hard to get 120. Of course, it's really violent, but it works out because it basically came down about, in this case, it went down 50%. So this is June 8th and Sano, and I'm in 5,000 shares because of the range. And this one is good. It's not great. So you can tell there really isn't a ramp. It just popped back up and it went a little bit too far for its own good. So I'm just basically going to take what I can. 1 minute trigger and just wait for the move down and just take it. Obviously, with the average cost of 12.12, there was definitely some slippage. It's getting to the 1 minute, and that's good. See how it went from 500 to 4? So green is green, but with TradeNet, there's always a little bit of slippage. So June 8th, $431, I'll take it. I'm not going to push my luck because these migraines just get worse and worse over time with stress. But this is more or less how I trade regardless of the migraines. And that was a pretty good exit because once it hit the 1 minute 90 MA, it popped back up. So when things move really fast, I rarely ever look at the 2 minute or the 5 minute time frame because anything that looks really good on the 1 minute time frame is what I'm going to be exiting with. So here's another one, ARNC. I don't know if I took this one because this would be a second trade for the day. But it is looking good, isn't it? And because I am more or less short biased, I would be surprised if I took this trade. The volume's rising even more as it's turning red. This to me is a good sign. Okay, that's basically a doji with a lot of volume. Am I going to take it? I don't know. I would definitely wait for a 1 minute trigger. Yeah, okay. I took it. Yeah, I did. Took a little bit late. Got a 6 cent spread. Basically going to put my stop at low a day, plus a few cents. Looking at the 2 minute time frame, because it's, bounces generally are slower than shorts, top reversals. Now it's going against me, and guys, this is generally why I don't like doing bounces. Not that they don't work. So here it looks like I'm about to try again because look at that volume. That really looks like it's making up for the previous fake out. But of course, you gotta kind of have to wait for that 1 minute trigger. You just gotta leave it alone. It probably will bounce eventually, but you know, this just isn't my thing. The way it faked out with that this volume spike right here is just not cool. So it just doesn't look right. So here's Party City. Look how violent this one is going. This is a $2 stock, and it is tradable. So that's pretty awesome. It did reset at 250 right here. So I'm looking at the daily chart to find an area, and there's one right there around the 270s, 280s, the 280s basically. So we're pretty much there. And each horizontal line is 5 cents. So it's justified to put 5,000 shares to risk about $300. Just have to be patient. And any red, there it is. You notice I set my stop at a very high 285 because that's basically where the other trend line was on the daily. So I don't want to get stopped out. I can always add to my position. But what I do like is the volume here. The volume isn't spiking. It's actually going down. So that suggests that people are appreciating the movement and they're not trying to fight it. And it's looking good, hitting the 1 minute 9 EMA. And there it is, that little bit of slippage from 300-ish to 200-ish, but I'll take it. And this is another example of Chesapeake that has been halting over and over again this month, and every time it does that, you can almost predict it's going to drop. These are beautiful, except for the fact it's not tradable on TradeNet. So June 9th, I'm looking at CLDR here. It did another spike. So every horizontal line is 10 cents. I'm trying to see if I can find an entry. It's just going higher. So most likely I do see a trend line on the daily. I just wish I actually put it on my screen. But I probably see something that I don't see right now. So most likely another 1 minute trigger. There it is. So basically these are all the kind of trades that I'm looking for. This one isn't a ramp one. This one is basically a huge pop, most likely hitting a trend line on the daily, and then I'm going to want it to reset itself. And regardless if it goes back up, I'm just going to take what I can out of that huge move. There's always going to be at least 25 to 50% on its way down. Between the 1060 and the 1135-ish. This one's struggling a bit. I'm probably stressing right now. Okay, it's going well. Basically, it needs to break down this level. Obviously, I want it to go like now, but it's struggling. But what I do like is the volume as it diminishes. So a lot of times when this happens, it either pops down or it's going to just fade down. Unless it goes the other way, of course. And all that time has brought the 9 AMA closer and closer. So it's starting to get to a point where, there is no elasticity. And now it's just where I'm just hoping for a fade, more or less. And so I just took it. Looks like I just took it as a touch to 9 AMA because I got tired of this movement. A lot of times, when it pops like that, you don't know if it's going to fade. You could kind of bet it does, but we're not in the game of betting. We're not in the game of gambling. The elasticity is gone. So it could just pop down, which, of course, make me feel sad. But, green is green, and I just got to let it go. See, there it is. There's the pop down. And, I just couldn't hold my breath any longer. So that's just how it is, guys. I mean, sometimes it's just, you just miss out. But at least you're able to cover your commissions. So this is June 10th. I'm seeing JFIN, and it is tradable. Even though on the trade manager it says 0 on short size, it is shortable. And I don't like the fact that it has this right here, how it had the a reset and breakout. But I'm just watching it for a possible move down, and I need the conviction. So right now, most likely in the chat room, I may say JFIN ramping, but I won't take it unless it actually has a solid ramp and it approaches a daily. So there's the halt. Very cool. All right, so this one got halted, and it almost reached 30. So it looks like I'm actually long on this one at 27.90. So it opened here and it popped back up. So I'm hoping that it breaks through 30, or at least tries to reach 30. That's very unorthodox of me. It's going to break out. There it goes. So I'm probably going to wait for it to approach close to 30 and just get out. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm thinking right now. Just take it. Nice. And it's probably going to break out. But it tried so hard to get there. Okay. June 11th. YRCW is tradable, but it looks like I missed out on it. But this is a great example of one of those stocks that just breaks out, and then you can just short it when it comes back down. This one basically came down to 50%. So these are all the trades that I'm always really looking forward to trading. But of course I missed out on this one. But it does break out again. So now it's starting to look really interesting. Most likely if I trade this one, there is an area on the daily that I can almost 5,000 on a 10-cent horizontals. Okay, that shows some pretty good conviction there, I think. The problem with these fast moving stocks and the range is you don't always wait for 1 minute, you just wait for it to move down. But definitely don't try to enter, in my opinion, don't try to enter as it's moving up and keep adding to a bad position. Try to catch it with the momentum moving down. So that is a scalping method because they always try to get the few cents, but you hold on to it until it goes down to where the elasticity is lost. Looks like it's getting there on the 1 minute trigger. A nice doji. The volume's kind of wacky. Fast forward a little bit. Ooh, and it breaks out. So this is where patience really comes into play. It would have been bad if we entered before the 1 minute trigger. But again, we're not seeing the daily chart here. I wish I did show it, but a lot of times I'm so focused on these such fast moving stocks that you know, I don't have time to bring down the chart to have it in the recording. Okay, getting rejected. Let's see if I take this one. Okay, if it goes down under 240, I would probably take this. Looks good. Okay. Yeah, I guess I do know myself a little bit, even during these times. Try to reach in that 230 area. Oh, do you guys see how that trade net slippage? I mean, you can just rewind that and see that that looked questionable, didn't it? But it probably popped up a little bit, but it didn't show on the level 2 or on the PNL. But yeah, I remember this day. This day did not make me happy. So there it is, guys. My couple of weeks that I haven't shown you guys. You can see some flaws, maybe one or two, but overall you can see how I don't trade multiple stocks anymore. I mean, at most 5. Maybe if volatility comes back in, and there could be plenty of trades, but most of the time it's under 4, where I would see something that looks really good. And I do see a lot. A lot of times they're small caps, but they're not tradable on TradeNet, so I don't record them. I mean, there's nothing to record. You can't even trade them. So that's just how it is, guys. I'll try my best to keep this up. Let me know what you'd like to see. But overall, I'm really thankful that you guys are around. Now, I just want to have you guys bear in mind that when you do chat rooms, be sure you don't just jump into everything. Don't get too loose on your trades. Try to find reasons why you shouldn't trade, because quite honestly, you can't lose money if you're not trading. So just bear in mind that when you find something good, make sure it's really good, and then give yourself some reasons why you shouldn't take it. And then if you can't really figure out a reason why you shouldn't take it, then quite possibly go heavy and just call it. That's all there is to it. The less time you're inside a trade, the less chances that the stock gets blown around, and there's less chances of external forces, things that you can't control, gets in the way of your trade. Like, say, I remember not too long ago, I was looking around, and I was so thankful that I wasn't in a trade because there was a power outage twice, and of course I do have backups, so my system didn't go down. But of course, it's really stressful regardless if you have backups, right? So yeah, this video is pretty long because I'm trying to catch up so I can delete all these other footages. So take care, guys, and I'll post a few more. Well, actually I have a lot to post, so I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.